hunting season has returned. 3D boxing here with Eddie Ortiz, now light heavyweight.
Yeah.
How's the new weight class treating you? A little less of a weight cut. You look a little bulkier than when I saw you last.
Hydrated, a lot better hydrated. You feel better, feel stronger. Can't complain, man. Blessed.
6'2", 6'3". How tall are you?
Yeah, 6'2".
Southpaw. I mean, you carrying the weight better. What do you typically walk around at?
Probably like 190, 185, 190.
So 175. Is this the new weight class? Because we've seen as low as 54, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I think 60. But I was like 158.
Yeah.
One time, I think when I fought Ortiz, right when I saw you.
So we've seen you lower. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is definitely gonna be the new weight. If the money's right, we'll go to 68. But I like it here.
75. You're still tall for the division, but they'll be facing guys a lot closer in height. You're still gonna have the speed advantage now over the bigger guys. Is that something you're gonna look to capitalize on?
I think as far as the speed goes, yeah, maybe, but I think it's more of the output.
The output.
I'll be able to put out a little bit more than these guys at this weight. And then coupled with my boxing skill, I don't think a lot of guys at this weight really have boxing skill. They're more reliant on
power. Yeah.
There's a lot of athletes at this weight, so I got to watch out for that. But I know the guy that I'm fighting tomorrow is about my height. He's about 6'2", so they're taller guys. But I've always done better with taller guys. It's always the little guys that always get me trouble. So.
I've heard that from a lot of tall fighters, that they'd rather fight tall guys than short guys. What is it about short guys that cause so much headache?
I mean, it's not that I don't like it, because I mean, you see me win against shorter guys.
I have.
Yeah, so
Jazz Phipps, for example.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not. I don't necessarily think it has too much to do with the height, but I just feel comfortable fighting a taller guy because I can go a little lower sometimes. And I know when I fight smaller guys, they be getting a little low, man. And they go out of your eyesight sometimes, man. So that's kind of the issue for me. But it doesn't matter who they are, what size they are, round, tall, short, yellow, purple. It doesn't matter.
How did this camp go? Because this is your first fight since your first setback. I mean, you got a late start in boxing. I don't want to say it came easy to you, but it kind of came at least natural to you.
Yeah.
You won a national. You were 11-0, right? You didn't know anything but winning. How did this camp go when it was a different bouncing back from a loss than your first kind of setback?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are very transparent with when they lose. Like I was telling, I had a podcast that I did, and they asked the same question. I told them, like, yeah, it was hard, man. Like when I got back to the hotel room instantly after the fight, like I was so upset with myself because I thought I made a mistake before watching it back, and I had told my dad I had wanted to quit. And, just in that moment, you're just a little upset with yourself. So I think a lot more fighters, I think they can see this. At least I hope that they see this and they don't feel bad about feeling a certain way right after something bad happens, But I knew, like, as soon as I slept on it, did one sleep on it, man, and the next day we got on the flight, I said, I'm going to go back to the gym. That same Monday, I went back and I said, I got to fix something. The first thing I could think of fixing was my weight. I was like, I'm way too big to be fighting at 160. I mean, I was so dehydrated, man. Like, it was so bad. Like, especially the last one, it was really bad. Being in the hotel room and quarantine in LA, like the center of it all, it was real bad, man. So,
moving up, cutting the weight, reducing the weight cut, give you a little bit better legs and more power as well, and you can also allow you to, you won't be so drained. You can still fire more shots, so it's probably a win-win, right? You'll probably carry a little more power without having to cut weight. You'll be able to throw more shots. It's really a win-win.
I was able to hit the weight room, man. I had missed that, bro. I had missed hitting the weight room, man. If you know me and my friends, like that's something that we all kind of like to do together. So. Hitting the weight room, I'm not saying I was out there powerlifting or anything, but just putting on a little bit of mass to equate to the new weight, the weight class, But I feel great, man. I'm just ready to rock and roll, man.
Another San Antonio kid, Barrios had a similar. He's fighting at 130.
Yeah.
People were questioning his power. He jumped up to 140, moved up 2 weight classes, and knocked out 8 or 9 opponents in a row.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're fighting in the wrong weight class, that can.
Yeah. That's one thing. Mario's like my height, man. It's crazy how big that dude is, right?
How did he make one? Keith Owens, you're the biggest little guy I ever saw.
Yeah, I know, man. It's for me, I think it's just a genetic type thing. Like he just doesn't have the same build as me, I guess, necessarily. But he's just as tall and he's just as broad as me. It's weird, man. But I think I said on the podcast too. I think for him to take those kinds of shots, because that Keith Thurman that we saw, it's probably the best. Personally, that's the best Keith Thurman I've ever seen.
I said there was no ring rust, there was no nothing. Keith Thurman looked sharp,
and he looked stronger, and he looked better physically. And
but he's 33, so I mean, the time off might have rested his body, rejuvenated him. It might have been good for him.
He probably helped him better than anything that break. But for Mario to take those kinds of shots and then come back and hurt him at the same time, Mario's at where he needs to be. I think 147, 140. If he wants to do 140, even better, but I think 147 is good for him, man.
These people don't know Barrios. He came up at the same time you did. He started at 22 and 26, and it was weird because he was like 6'1", 6'2", whatever. Yeah. He was all arms and legs, right?
Yeah. Man, even before he turned pro, he would come into Zarzamora and spar like with Hector and everybody, man. Look like a string bean, bro. Look like this little skinny little twig, man. But I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy for all those guys, all of them.
So you had new camp. You were at the RGBA. You were getting ready with another fellow San Antonian, Hector Tanajara, who's got to fight tonight in California. How did camp go? How was the new camp? How did that go?
Yeah, it went good. I only spent a week and a half out in Riverside with Robert Garcia's camp, but I was out there sparring like Luis Rose and a couple of these other big guys. But the camp itself, man, just being around, being with my little brother, heck, that's like a little brother to me. So just being around him, it felt like we were back at home, like back at Zarzamora training again. And then to see all the big names in there and them giving me, you know, kudos for my sparring, and they sent me up there first. Like literally the first day I got there, we were out there. I get into the gym, they're like, yo, Eddie, they know me because of Hector, and I know the son Pita. Like, Eddie, you're going up first in the big ring. So I'm like, oh shit, like they're putting me up first, everybody's still getting ready, I'm going up into the big ring. And Luis Rose, I'm sure you're familiar with him, he fought on Showtime a couple times. After I looked, I didn't know him until we started sparring, but he was a loudmouth, he likes talking in the ring and stuff, so he's getting crazy and he's talking about it when we're getting up in the ring and he's talking to me. Then I start putting it on him a little bit, and then the whole gym out when we came down, they were just like, man, that's badass, you know. So I got a lot of respect out of that gym and all the champs that came out of there. So I appreciate all those guys, man, and everything that they gave me out there, all the wisdom.
So camp look good. You've adjusted to the new weight. What can we expect from you tomorrow?
What can you expect? What you can always expect, man. I'm going on the hunt, man. Simple as that. I'm going to take care of it. This is a job to me now. I love boxing with my whole heart, but I've changed my outlook on it, and it's a job. I got a job to do. There's really no opponent. It's me versus me. The guy, you know, no disrespect to him, my opponent, whoever he is, I gotta go through him and get on to the next one. So that's the idea, is just go in there and I'm gonna get the job done, man.
And how's Hector gonna do? How did Hector do at camp, and how's he gonna do it tomorrow? Well, tonight actually.
Hector's a superb talent, man, boxing wise. So the Hector that I saw when he came back after his lawsuit, because we both took our first L, and we came back in the gym together, and we really didn't even work on fighting any kind of opponent or for the physical aspect. We're working on more of our mental, like just getting back to what we know, our roots, our foundation. And if Hector is Hector tonight, if Hector is the Hector that we all know Hector to be, there's no stopping him. I don't add that weight class. Nobody's gonna stop him. I
asked Clay Burns, who's an opponent. He fought Hector Tanajara, and he fought Devin Haney. And I asked him who was sharper, who was better. Without hesitation, he said Hector Tanajara.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of skills that Hector has. I mean, yeah. Hector,
without a question, man. I mean, you talk about a kid that was 18. We went up to U.S. Nationals together at 18. I was maybe 22, 23. I won that same year, 2015. We won together, but he was beating guys that had won it 2 or 3 times in a row, beating guys that were older, that had way more experience, and he's beating these guys and making them look silly, you know, just outboxing them. If Hector could just box, and he just knows that you just only have to do you and box. Don't worry about the knockout. Don't worry about none of that. Hector's gonna take.
So Hector looks good. There's no doubt that he'll be back.
It's probably the best I've ever seen Hector. Yeah, probably the best I've ever seen Hector.
San Antonio boxing is alive and well. Tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
Ed Ortiz 1591 on Instagram. I think Eddie the Hunter Ortiz on Facebook. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. I'm gonna get a Discord going soon. I don't even know what I'm gonna name that. So.
God bless, champ. Thank you.
God bless. Thank you.